So I'm sorry I'm going to cut your hair, but this is what we do for living. Thank you so much for allowing me. I just wanted to show you guys how we get the baby teen hair. I want to prove to you guys that we sell raw donor. Oh my gosh! We made it! Finally, we have a single donor raw baby teen hair. I'm so happy. Thank you for letting me cut your hair. Thank you so much. I love you.
This is just sad. It's truly sad. She said, I'm sorry I'm going to cut your hair, but this is what we do for a living. So just because it's what you do for a living makes it okay for you to cut that little girl's hair. Most times when these little girls are getting their hair cut, it's not because they want to cut their own hair. Who wants to cut their own hair when their hair is that long? Barely nobody. Most times it's because their parents need the money. Right? So they're actually forced to cut their hair at young ages. But black women today only care about, 4C hair is too hard to manage. So I'm just going to throw a wig on and I don't even realize where my hair is coming from. Right? And this type of thing happens to little girls all across Asia, India, Brazil. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to a story about Lynn, who sat cross-legged on the bamboo mat, her fingers tracing the fraying edges of her hair. The room was warm, the air thick with the scent of lemongrass, wafting from the kitchen. But Lynn's mind was elsewhere, tangled in the strands of her own waist-length black hair. In their small Vietnamese village, Lynn's hair was considered her greatest asset. Her mother would braid it every morning, whispering how it shimmered like midnight rivers and how proud her father would be if he were still alive. But that morning, her mother said something different. The buyer is coming tomorrow, she said, avoiding Lynn's gaze. We need the money. Lynn's heart sank. She knew what that meant. Her hair, her pride, was about to become someone else's. Thousands of miles away, in a bustling city in the United States, Nia stood in front of her bathroom mirror, adjusting the lace front wig she just purchased. It was sleek, silky, and impossibly perfect. Everything her natural hair, with its tight coils and stubborn frizz, was not. The packaging had called it luxury human hair, sourced ethically. Nia didn't think much about where it came from. She only knew that when she wore it, people at work treated her differently, better, like she belonged. But sometimes late at night, as she took the wig off, she couldn't help but feel a pain of guilt. Was it wrong to want this? To need it? The next day, Lynn sat stiffly as the buyer, a middle-aged man in a rumpled suit, ran his fingers through her hair. His hands were impersonal, businesslike, but Lynn felt exposed, like a commodity. Her mother stood nearby, clutching the small wad of bills, her face a mixture of relief and shame. Your hair will make someone very happy, the man said with a forced smile, as if that could make it better. Lynn bit her lip to keep from crying as the scissors snipped through her thick braid. She felt lighter, colder, and emptier all at once. Her reflection in the mirror, a girl with uneven, jagged hair, was almost unrecognizable. Months later, Lynn's hair arrived at the factory, where it was washed, dyed, and sewn into wefts. Eventually, it became part of a wig that found its way to the beauty supply store where Nia bought it. Nia wore that wig to her friend's wedding, to a promotional interview, and on dates where she felt like she could conquer the world. But deep down, she knew the wig was just a prop. It was armor, an unspoken argument with the world that still hadn't learned to celebrate her natural beauty. One day, while scrolling through social media, Nia came across a documentary about the global hair trade. The footage showed young girls like Lynn sitting in villages, reluctantly parting with their hair to support their families. Nia froze, her hand instinctively reaching up to touch her wig. She saw the contradiction clearly now. Her search for beauty and acceptance came at the cost of someone else's identity. But what could she do? Nia didn't want to give up the wig. It was her shield in a world that didn't seem ready for her natural self. Lynn, now 17 years old, stared at her reflection. Her hair had grown back, but it wasn't the same. The silky texture had given way to something coarser, wilder. Her friends said it looked strong, but Lynn wasn't sure if she could believe them. She sometimes wondered where her old hair had ended up. Did the woman who wore it know the sacrifice behind it? Did she care? Thousands of miles apart, Lynn and Nia were connected by an invisible thread, woven from strands of hair, shared struggles, and the universal longing to belong. They were two women, shaped by two different cultures and circumstances, yet both trapped in systems that profited off their insecurities. Lynn decided that when her hair grew long again, she wouldn't sell it, not because the money wasn't needed, but because she wanted to keep what was hers. Meanwhile, Nia made a different choice. Nia chose to keep wearing the fake hair because that is all Nia knew all her life. When she was a young girl, her mother purchased wigs, fake hair, so Nia never got the chance to learn how to actually do her hair as a black woman. And sadly, Nia spent the rest of her life struggling with the identity crisis. She never really felt truly comfortable with wearing her natural hair out. All we can do is hope for Nia and pray for Nia that she finds the way to light and she figures out that her hair is naturally beautiful and she does not need Lynn's hair. Thank you all for tuning into this story time. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this and I will do more story time. So leave a comment in the comment section down below. Also, let me know of any video ideas that you all want to see from me because I don't know, I might just be able to make it happen, but I'll never know unless you guys tell me what you want to see. So go ahead and leave that comment in the comment section, subscribe if you're new, and remember, hit the like button, especially if you enjoy my content. It helps me to keep continuing to make the content that I do. So if you enjoy, hit the like button to support me, and y'all have a great day.